Hi, K-pop lovers. Welcome back to our channel. Imagine this. One night. One concert. 7 men. And suddenly, an entire country rushed to download Netflix. Not because of a new drama series. Not because of a blockbuster film. But because of BTS. And here is the part nobody is talking about. Netflix itself probably never saw this coming. Before we go any further, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications because we bring you the most accurate and up-to-date content on K-pop and global entertainment every single week. And do me a favor, smash that like button so more people can see this. Drop a comment down below and tell me, do you think Netflix should officially thank BTS? I want to read every single one of your answers. Now let's get into it. 66,800 downloads in a single day. The week before? Only 14,700. That is a 4.5 times increase, in just 24 hours. And that is only Korea. We have not even touched the global numbers yet. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you will understand exactly how 7 men from South Korea did what no marketing team, no advertising budget, and no Hollywood franchise has ever done for Netflix in Korea. And trust me, the numbers are absolutely insane. To understand why this is such a big deal, we need to go back a little. BTS, 7 members, RM, Jin, Suga, Jhope, Jimin, V, and Jungkook, spent over a decade transforming the global music industry from the ground up. They were not just a boy band. They were a full cultural force. Stadium tours selling out in minutes. Grammy nominations. United Nations speeches. A fanbase called ARMY that spans every continent on this planet. But in June 2022, something that shocked the world happened. BTS announced a group hiatus. The reason? Mandatory military service. In South Korea, every able-bodied man must serve. And one by one, all 7 members enlisted. The last one, Suga, was only discharged on June 21, 2025. For nearly 4 years, the world waited. And what happened when they came back? They did not just return. They came back and broke everything. The moment the last member finished his service, all 7 of them relocated together to Los Angeles in mid-2025, the first time they had all lived under the same roof since 2019. For 2 months, they wrote, recorded, and built something from scratch. On January 4, 2026, Big Hit Music officially announced the BTS comeback alongside a massive world tour. The album title was revealed on January 15, Arirang. The name carries extraordinary weight. Arirang is the most beloved traditional Korean folk song, often called the unofficial national anthem of Korea. By choosing this name, BTS made a statement, born in Korea, playing for the world. The album contains 14 tracks blending hip-hop, pop, and traditional Korean elements, produced alongside world-class names including Diplo, Ryan Tedder, Kevin Parker, and JPG Mafia. On March 20, 2026, Arirang was released to the entire world. And then the internet lost its mind. On Spotify, Arirang pulled in 110 million streams in a single day, making it the most streamed album in a single day in all of 2026 so far and the most streamed K-pop album in the entire history of Spotify. All 14 tracks occupied positions 1 through 14 on the Spotify Global Top 50, in an unbroken line, with 0 interruptions. That has almost never happened before in Spotify history. The album's first day number ranks as the 12th biggest opening day for any album ever on the platform, sitting alongside only the most elite names in music. On Apple Music, it broke the record for most first-day streams for a pop group's album. On Billboard, Arirang debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, earning 641,000 album equivalent units in its first week, BTS's biggest sales week in US history. The lead single, Swim, shot straight to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making BTS the first Korean artist to simultaneously top both the Billboard 200 and the Hot 100. All 13 tracks entered the Hot 100. They claimed the entire top 10 of the Billboard Global XL US chart from a single release, something no artist had ever done before. In Korea alone, the album sold 4.2 million physical copies in the first week, including more than 1 million copies in just the first 10 minutes. But wait. Because all of that, every single one of those records, is just the setup. Because what happened on March 21, 2026 is what made Netflix executives sit up straight in their chairs. Gwanghwamun Square. The historic heart of Seoul. A place where Koreans have gathered for centuries, for protests, for celebrations, for national moments that define a generation. On that night, 100,000 people showed up in person. For free. No ticket required. And around the world, millions more opened their phones, their laptops, their televisions, and pressed play on Netflix. Because BTS held their comeback concert live, exclusively on Netflix. And this was not a pre-recorded concert film. This was a genuine live stream, the very first time in Netflix history that a live music performance was streamed on the platform. To produce it, Netflix brought in Hamish Hamilton, the British director behind every single Super Bowl halftime show since 2010, and his production company Done and Dusted. The result? 18.4 million global viewers watching BTS perform in real time. The concert hit #1 on Netflix in 24 countries and cracked the weekly top 10 in 80 countries. In one night. And here is where it gets absolutely wild. To watch the BTS concert on Netflix, you needed an active subscription. That one simple requirement became the most powerful marketing tool Netflix has seen in years in South Korea. Army across Korea, fans who had cancelled their subscriptions, fans who had never signed up, fans who had been using other platforms, they all came back. Or signed up for the very first time. Because missing this moment was simply not an option. The week of the concert, Netflix recorded 136,400 downloads in South Korea, nearly double the 70,300 from the previous week. And it was the first time ever that Netflix crossed the 100,000 weekly download mark in Korea. On the day of the concert itself, daily downloads jumped from 14,700 to 66,800, that 4.5 times increase we mentioned at the very start of this video. Now you understand why that number matters. And here is the part that makes this even more impressive. South Korea is not an easy market for Netflix. They compete directly against local platforms, Kuang Play and Tving, which have deeply localized content built specifically for Korean audiences. That same week, Kuang Play was downloaded 77,400 times. Tving, 56,400 times. Netflix beat both of them. In their own backyard. Because of BTS. Netflix did not run a single ad campaign for this. They did not need to. BTS was the campaign. And the impact did not stop after one night. On March 27, 2026, Netflix released BTS, The Return, a documentary following the making of Ararang, directed by Vietnamese-American filmmaker Bong Nguyen. The film took viewers behind the scenes of the songwriting camp in LA, through post-production in Seoul, and into the most personal moments of 7 men rediscovering each other after years apart. This was Netflix's masterstroke, turning one viral concert night into a long-term retention strategy. The new subscribers who signed up to watch the concert now had a reason to stay. Think about what this really means. Netflix has invested billions of dollars into Korean content over the past decade. They have produced hit after hit. And yet, in terms of raw download impact in a single 24-hour window, nothing compared to what BTS did with one live concert. No drama series. No film. Nothing. Just 7 men on a stage in Gwanghwamun. And globally, the story is just as staggering. 18.4 million viewers across 80 countries. Number 1 in 24 of them. The concert trended on social media in nearly every major market simultaneously. On Spotify, the same day as the concert, Erarang became the most streamed album in a single day in 2026, breaking the record for the most streamed K-pop album in Spotify history. Billboard is estimating that the entire comeback, album sales, streaming, the world tour, merchandise, and licensing, could generate more than $1 billion in revenue within a 12-month period. $1 billion. From 7 men who just finished mandatory military service. On April 9, 2026, BTS launched the Erarang World Tour, the largest world tour ever mounted by a South Korean act. 82 shows. 34 cities. 23 countries. Running all the way through March 2027. Every single announced show sold out within hours of tickets going on sale. So let's be real about what just happened here. BTS did not just release an album. They did not just perform a concert. They moved millions of people to open an app they were not using, sign up for a service they were not paying for, and stay awake in the middle of the night just to watch 7 men stand on a stage. That is not influence. That is not marketing. That is something far rarer. It is genuine cultural power. The kind that no amount of money can manufacture and no algorithm can replicate. Netflix, a company worth hundreds of billions of dollars with more content than any human being could watch in a lifetime, just received a free masterclass in audience connection from a K-pop group from South Korea. Maybe it really is time for Netflix to send some flowers to the HYBE office. And that is the real story here. Not just the numbers, though the numbers are extraordinary. But the fact that BTS proved, once again, that the bond between an artist and their audience is the most powerful force in entertainment. Full stop. So there you have it, the full, fact-checked, data-backed story of how BTS shook Netflix Korea and the entire world overnight, based on real numbers from March and April 2026. If you made it this far, you are an absolute legend, and I appreciate you more than you know. Now here is what I need you to do: hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel more than you realize. If you are not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a video like this. Share this video with your fellow ARMY and anyone who needs to know this story. And most importantly, leave a comment below. Were you one of the people who downloaded Netflix just to watch the BTS comeback concert? Or do you think Netflix should officially thank BTS? Tell me everything. I read every comment. See you in the next one. Purple you. Purple Heart Annyeong.